Yes, the dreams of Lagos. Everyone comes here to fulfill their dreams one way or another. We consider it to be the center of excellence. We consider it to be the place where a lot of things are possible. Now, this morning, what is possible is a great conversation with a man known as Coach Chudi. I'm talking about Chudi Kalu, who is the founder of Africa's Property Investment Group, the chairman of Chairman and Artbridge International Integrated Limited, Chairman AMH Capital. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Fulu.
Great to have you with us, Coach Chudi.
I'm excited being here today.
Good. And I think the rest of Lagos should be excited as well, because this morning we're going to be taking a look at real estate. Should I buy or should I rent? Now, this is a very serious question for us out here in Lagos, and I feel like this, the universe sent you to me, particularly at this time in my life. And I'll tell you why. Because there is the unending struggle of whether I should be renting property or buying property, because sometimes rent feels as though just giving my money to somebody. But I hear that if you invest in property, it's a good idea. So should I buy or should I rent? Let's start with that.
I think it starts with intention. For anybody, depending on what level of what social structure anyone is,
Okay.
that the person should not make that sort decision. If I'm not a billionaire, I shouldn't buy a house. But if I am still trying to move up the social ladder, or I'm trying to build, I'm still trying to find footing, I should consider renting a property first. The reason is that I as an individual should always think of income first. What do I need to do now that should generate me income?
Yes.
I always say this. Real estate is not a platform for just those who are already rich.
Okay, I like this. It's a comfortable statement to hear. Okay.
It's not for those who are already rich. It's a platform for those who actually want to be rich. So it's not for the rich. It's for those who want to be rich.
For those who want to be rich.
Yeah.
That's what real estate is
That's
for. Not just for the already rich.
Not just for those who are already rich.
Okay.
Now, if that is so, it is important for me to take to use the platform to be able to build wealth for myself. So, but if I buy a house and I'm going to live in that house, it's not going to pay me. It's not paying me a dime.
It's costing me money.
It's costing me money. And the same apartment that you're probably the same property you're going to be used in building a house. Let's say somewhere like Chevron Drive, for example.
Okay.
Maybe I build a 5-bedroom duplex. It's also going to still cost. I'm going to have more opportunity when I have a 3 units of 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
It's going to cost me the same, and I'm still going to enjoy more income from the property. So for anybody, if it depends on what your strategy is. There are two cuts. That's just that.
Okay. From what you said already, I have questions. I want to ask sort of how do you even develop this strategy? So let's say I've stumbled across this program. I'm listening to Coach Chudi. I'm like, okay. The thing that you said about investment or property is not just for the already rich, it's for people who want to be rich. Okay, I know that I want to be rich. I know that dealing with property is a useful way of getting there. You've mentioned about it depends on what your strategy is. What are the different strategies that could exist? What types of people go into this? How does that fit in with the narrative of someone who is just starting out and saying, this is something I want to get into. I don't know how. Now,
I have to start by moving. There are different types of personalities in the real estate market. Now, one is the property owner, the other one is the property investor.
Okay.
Now, that I own a property doesn't actually mean that I'm investing.
Okay, interesting.
I may be satisfied with just owning the property.
I just have it.
I'm comfortable just being the owner. They call me landlord. The street is named after me. And all of that. You get? But I may not actually be earning from that property. An investor is somebody who makes money from his investment.
Okay.
So a property is a lazy asset if it does not give me return. It has potential of giving me returns, but I'm not enjoying benefit from that.
Okay.
So I need to change my narrative of who a property owner is to who a property investor is. I can buy a piece of property and convert it into maybe an event center, and I still make money from that property.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I maybe set up serious building structures on those properties, but because I have the mindset of an investor, not the mindset of a property owner, so I can easily make money. So a lot of people, we have so many people who have good properties, solid properties in good areas, but they are not making money from that. Sometimes you have people who are easily broke by property owners that are broke because of the fact that they're not enjoying rental income from their property investment. So I need to change. I need to understand that there's a difference between being a property owner and
a
being
property
an investor.
Okay, I like that. Property investors actually make money
Yeah.
from their property. Property owners, it's a lazy asset. The
Yes.
property is just sitting there and you're
Yeah.
most likely spending.
Yeah.
You're paying the government, you're
Yeah.
paying all sorts of bills.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so how then do people get into this property investment space? What does that look like? What are the things to consider?
Yeah.
I would ask to get into that space.
Now, I'll also say there are different ways to move into the property market. Now, I don't necessarily have to buy if I don't have enough money, all of the money to buy.
Major key.
If I don't have all of that money, what I just need to do is to understand leverage. Does Folu have the kind of goal that maybe my foundation almost the same financial goal with me.
Okay.
I can collaborate with Folu and say, okay, you know what, there's a building somewhere maybe in VI, it's going to cost about maybe 60 million naira
Okay.
for us to do. You have 30 million, I have 30 million naira, we can collaborate together. I don't necessarily have to, because the intention is clear. I want to make money from real estate.
Okay.
And that is my goal. So instead of me buying maybe a piece of property somewhere in Ajangbadi, that's not going to fetch me money. So what I rather do is that I focus on where demand is and earn money from that. Now, I can make money from an apartment in, let's say, Ikoyi, and make money from an apartment in Ikoyi, whereas I live somewhere in Aja.
Okay.
Now, because I understand the concept of property investment, so I'm not considering myself as, I'm not looking at myself alone, I'm looking at the money-making aspect of it. Now, we must understand that income always follow assets.
Income follows assets. Okay.
So it is from the asset that we have that income comes to us.
Okay.
So if we don't have assets, now there's this statistics that I've always read. I think when I was also here during one of the evening section, I said something. 80% of those who are currently working today of the workforce in Nigeria will go broke when they get to the age of 60.
Chai, let me tell you right now that a lot of people just panic. Just brokenness. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid.
Why?
But why do you say that?
But because a lot of people are not planning for the future. A lot of people are not buying assets. A lot of us want to look rich, but we are not rich.
And not understand what actual being rich or
You're being
wealth
rich,
is.
and so sometimes you think it's about having the car and living the lifestyle and all of
to
that.
buy Gucci shoes.
Yeah.
Let them know. They have to see it on my body.
But at the end of the day, what would fund the lifestyle should be the asset that I have.
Okay.
Now, it's better to start whatever income that you have now. Take some part of that income, like a seed, and plant them in a particular property that can generate you income. Because at the end of the day, what you now have is that you now have a system whereby you can generate wealth on a regular basis for yourself. So you need to be able to fund that lifestyle instead of just depending on income on a job that probably may not last forever, that definitely won't last forever. But what will last is, because one thing about real estate is that real estate is an indestructible asset.
Okay.
When I mean, it's not that maybe real estate business do not go down, but rather because the demand for real estate will always be on the high. That is, when somebody has there will always be need for residential development. There will always be need for apartment. There will always be need for properties. As long as we humans are on the face of the earth, there will always be demand.
Yes.
So real estate becomes an indestructible asset. It's a tangible investment.
Yes.
It's not like your Ponzi scheme and all of that when you're doing all of those stuff.
I hope gold people have heard. I hope you're paying attention.
It's not like that. So that's why one needs to look at real estate and say, okay, you know what, I need to be able to put certain part of my investment into real estate.
Coach Chudi, I'm going to ask though, because it's a great idea. I started reading books myself that point very much in this direction and explain the importance of having these assets that generate wealth for you, and being in reality rich. But there are a lot of people out there who listen and who have the slight reservations of, but it sounds difficult. I mean, we talk about raising 30 million each, and you know, a lot of people's brains are exploding. But I will say though, I like the idea of collaboration, because it doesn't have to be just one person. You can have maybe a small group of 2, 3, 5, depending on if you have the same goal, and understanding that you all have the same goal is a very important thing. But then when it now comes to choosing prime locations, Lagos is a bustling nerve center of a lot of things, and we know that the places that, you know, are clearly highbrow. Must everyone think in those highbrow areas, or can we look more towards perhaps where development is going into around Lagos, and perhaps the nerve centers itself? What would sort of be your advice for people who are a bit hesitant, are still unsure as to, okay, but how do I now choose the area to invest in property?
There are 4 things to look at for when you want to invest in real estate, especially when you want to make money. One, just like you have morning, afternoon, evening, and night, you also have those circles in real estate. You look at trade, that is commerce. Anywhere commerce is, cash flow trails.
I like that. Anywhere commerce is, cash flow trails.
And so you look at areas that have commercial centers, or maybe commercial activity. That is where to pitch your investment into. Lagos is known as the commercial nerve of Nigeria. That is why real estate thrives in Lagos, and everywhere else real estate is not thriving as much. Then you also look at the noon of real estate is migration. How many people are moving into a certain aspect? So what is the movement like? What is the population drive like within that area? Then once you look at that, you also look at what is the environment, what is their lifestyle, what is the mentality that rules this environment. Now, if for example I want to pitch to certain people, and there are certain aspects of certain people that don't give they are not interested in fitness. And there are certain areas that they're interested in fitness. So what is the mentality of the people like? Because what you are doing is that you are buying into the mentality. You are investing your money into the mentality. So you need to be able to, once you have that on ground, it's easy for you to know what to do. Like for example, the mentality that rules in Ajah is quite different from the mentality that rules in Lekki. In main Lekki, and mentality that rules in Lekki is different from the mentality that rules in Agege
or Lagos Island.
Or Lagos Island. So you need to be, because you are buying into real estate is about people, it's about their mindset, it's about their attitude. So you need to be able to have all of this factored together before doing your investment.
All right, I like that. Very, very interesting stuff. And now the other thing is, I mean, property owners or people who are trying to invest in property, and we want to, or property owners may want to save their rent, while property investors we want to earn income from that. Can you explain or expand a little bit more on this?
I know that a lot of people, because of I want to stop paying my landlord, so the pressure to buy a house is there. You have from family members, you have from friends. From society, you know, there is always a testimony. Why do you not bought and all of that? But the pressure, but you need to stop the pressure, take the pressure off you, and focus on income generating assets. Focus on the things that can build you wealth, because you are not doing it for them, you are doing it for yourself. And so why not focus on that thing first? Because you are still going to buy a house. But the first thing you shouldn't do is to buy a private home that you would use. Now, because what you need to think is to think of, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a house, but it should not be the first thing.
The first thing.
It should be income producing assets, things that will bring in money, because that money that you are generating will now produce you the lifestyle that you want. Will not give you the lifestyle that you will fund the lifestyle that you want. But don't live the lifestyle yet. Don't live like a landlord yet.
That's
don't
very interesting, because that is the narrative that is shoved out to people from as young as you can think of. But once you become an adult, they're like, own your own.
And so sometimes when the pressure even in marriages is also still there, because the husband and the wife, they are pressuring them, they are under pressure to live that dream, because it's a dream, it's a Nigerian dream to own a house. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't live that dream, but before you live that dream, focus on income producing assets. Buy apartment houses. somewhere around and earn rental income from
From
them.
that first.
For once you do that, you're able to you are stable.
Yes, and you can use that your assets, your income generating
Yeah.
asset to then live your dream
Yeah.
later down
Because
the
you're
line.
also not looking at just one. You're not going to have just one. You're also going to look at multiple doors, not just one tenant, not just two tenants, not three, not four. You're thinking of doing it more and more again. There's somebody that I come to respect. He has 4,000 apartments in the US. Every month he receives a paycheck from
Oof.
these people, and you can imagine how much comes to him on a regular basis.
That's nice. I like that. Coach Chudi, just like that, we've come to the end of our time together. But thank you so much for sharing
you
with
for
us.
having me.
If you just joined us, this was Chudi Kalu, also known as Coach Chudi. He's the founder of Africa's Property Investment Group and the chairman, Arkbridge International Limited as well. He's a husband, a father, an entrepreneur, a serial investor, and an investment coach. So thank you very much again
Thank
for
you
coming
having
in.
me. I appreciate it.
Lagos, keep listening. Coming up next at 7:30 is detailed newspaper analysis inside of Freshly Pressed right here on Smooth Breakfast.